Gamer Feed Radio.
What's going on, everybody out there in podcast land? This is Gamer Feed Radio, in case the intro threw you off.
What am I listening to? What is this Kardashian TV episode recap?
It's so dumb. But anyway, I can't even believe it, but it's episode 63, and it is the end of yet another month, which means it's time for the Noobs feed. And which is all the new news noobs need to know. And by the way, as I explained last month, for people who are just checking in, we deliberately know that we're saying noob wrong. Like it's a play on words. It's the word new.
Yeah.
Because there's news and it's new. Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't get it, I mean, just go do your thing. But it is the Noobs feed, which means we have a variety of interesting thoughts from late-breaking news, some of which actually occurred just earlier today, but and all the other choice topics that have occurred during the month of September that we haven't already talked about.
Yeah.
So if you're not interested in any of those things, now would probably be a great time for you to hit the road, love you mean it, or maybe we don't.
Word.
So that all having been said, we talked last week was I think it was TGS, and we were bemoaning how there was so little news, and then the last week there's been like tons of really great news.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't get it. It's like, hey, let's spend millions of dollars on a conference that no one gives a rat's about. Great. So anyway, interesting tidbit for all you Xbox people out there. There's a new Xbox One bundle. Actually, there's several. There was one that was announced. It's the Call of Duty. Oh no, that's Xbox. That's PlayStation. So we'll do both. There's a PlayStation 4 Call of Duty exclusive 1 terabyte Uber console that is the most ugliest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like flaming orange and brown.
I think like every limited edition console, even like the Nintendo Zelda ones, like I'm just not a fan of them. I like really simple designs on my TV box set.
You're so complex that really shocks me.
Yeah, I just give me a black box. That's why I remember when they showed off the PS4 or unveiled it for the first time, they didn't show you the console itself. They just showed you the controller. Everyone's like, what does the console look like? It's like, it looks like a freaking, black rectangle. What do you think it looks like? Like, it's not going to be this.
Maybe next time we'll do a circle.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the only real different one was the GameCube.
Yeah. Well, it was still kind of a box, although it was purple.
Bless its heart. Yeah.
Well, of course, here we are starting news, and I just realized that I neglected to introduce you, which is like some kind of crime.
No, it's okay. I'm just some dude.
That's true. I mean, you definitely are some dude, and we're going to talk more about dudes a little later in the show, but
I don't know what that means.
it's on the agenda. I'm just saying.
Oh, wait.
It's in the news. You'll see it. That part will probably not be family friendly, and we'll make sure that we do a spoiler alert announcement or something before we start. But anyway, I'm joined today by the very lovely, and I do mean that, especially in a blue Disney princess gown, Brad Wallace.
Oh, my. Thank you.
There he is.
Full introduction.
But anyway.
Here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
No, but I am. I'm excited. I like our usual, 45 to hour long-ish minute video game chats every week. I look forward to it for all the world to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to make it too complicated.
Of people.
Hey, you know what? I mean, we're creeping up there. We're getting close to the next big listen milestone and all that, so that's good. Anyway, so Call of Duty PlayStation, it's really ugly. If you need the terabyte of space, great. Otherwise, you can just go buy a hard drive and put it in and do it yourself.
Yeah.
For significantly less than the $1 jillion price tag they slap on that puppy.
Yeah.
There is a new Xbox One bundle that comes with not one, not one, but 2 Tomb Raider games.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, my goodness.
I just can't get over that.
Does anybody care? I mean,
no, nobody cares.
I mean, it's like they're flaunting this, we have a Tomb Raider exclusive to try to compete, I guess, with PlayStation and their Destiny content, and it's just not working. I don't think it's working.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Tomb Raider's hasn't been a big name since, like, literally the first one on PS1. Like, nobody cares about Tomb Raider. The reboot was, like, kind of cool, and it was like, oh, it got decent reviews or whatever. But, like, why? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, if you're a Tomb Raider fan out there, feel free to log on to Facebook or Twitter at GamerFeed Radio and tell Brad how wrong he really is.
Tomb Raider sucks, dude. It's by far the worst video game series of all time.
Shut your face, it is not.
Nothing about it, I mean, is any good. The graphics were terrible. The controls are terrible. Their one decent game is just a total Uncharted clone. They took the same gameplay style and control scheme because theirs were garbage traditionally.
Feel free out there, for those who are listening, you could create a subreddit called Brad Sucks.
I'm trying to be inflammatory on purpose.
I can tell. I feel that the
but really, Tomb Raider
rage.
does suck, and there's like no excuse for it. It's god awful, and if you like it, you're a terrible person. Everything about it is just pure garbage. It's like going into a dumpster with a freaking pizza box, taking that pizza box and shoving it into your PlayStation or Xbox, and hitting play. You're going, wow, this is great.
I think this is actually could be the beginning, Brad, of a beautiful new segment. Something about ranting, I think.
I was going to go further, but I'm trying to keep my words.
Maybe we can just be like Haterade or something. And
Haterade. Dude, I could do it for I could do that for the rest of the episode. Just give me like Halo 5. Spoiler alert. We're talking about Halo 5. It looks like garbage. It looks terrible. All right.
Shut your face.
I'm skipping ahead.
No, that's okay. But, well, speaking of Halo 5.
That's another bundle.
Yeah, of course it's a bundle. Well, and there was this big teaser trailer thing, I guess, that was released and came out. And in one of the segments, there's like this rock wall or like this concrete thing, and you just see Master Chief's helmet, shield front, like fused into this cement brick concrete wall or whatever it is. And the caption of the article, which is what drew my attention, was, the demise of Master Chief. And I'm like,
nobody cares, though, because it sucks and it's awful.
Well, but I mean, like, though, if you're a big fan of the series, though, I mean, that's an interesting thing to put
Halo
into a
hasn't
teaser.
been cool since 2007. I mean,
wow.
At, maybe 6
Did
years
you see? Did you see the intro trailer for it though? The new one that came out.
Yeah,
like
they all just look dumb, and they all.
Oh, stop it! It looks fantastic. The graphics are amazing.
And they're like, we're going to make it esports because forcing everything to be esports has always worked out in the company's favor.
No, it's all about money.
Oh, it's so stupid. I hate it.
It's about money, and it's about esports players, using drugs.
But the whole point about esports is like the scene usually arises like naturally. Like if you try to force it, it doesn't work. Like that's the whole point. Like I don't know. Rocket League's a good example of them not like shoving esports down your throat, even though it's literally like a sports game to an extent. But like the community just naturally kind of said like, hey, we want to do tournaments. We want to do this. But like I've seen it with Black Ops 3 and Halo 5 and all these other games, like the MOBAs especially, they're like a dime a dozen. But like they're just trying to force it. Like, look, we're going to be on ESPN4 someday. We're going to be legit. And it's just like, it's so stupid. It's such a waste. I don't know. Halo 5's giving me real bad vibes. I'm not digging it at all. That's my...
I mean, you are in fact entitled to your opinion. Much to your dismay, I cannot wait for the hate mail to come flooding in.
I know, I'm want it.
They're going to be like, who is this jerk face?
No, but really, it looks stupid. If you want one, you're done.
It does not. The intro video that was released a week ago or so looks fantastic, and I mean, if you're into it, I guess. I mean, if you like watching a bunch of aliens get squished,
sure, it's great. I'm just kidding.
Wow, my gosh, the trolls are coming out tonight. Okay, so now you mentioned this, I don't know if it was last week or the couple weeks ago, about Mario Maker, and I went back into the annals of antiquity and realized that we never really talked about it all that much, which is kind of horrible on our part, considering that it's been out at least a week now. And while I have not actually played the game...
Yeah, same here.
I can say that not only everything that I've heard, but the things that I've seen, people are posting things on like Twitch and like YouTube. It looks, if you are like in that, I hate making this connection, but if you're like the Minecraft, like I want to create my own Sim City, The Sims, maybe Civilization kind of gamer that actually I think you would kind of pick up on this because you get to build your, thing and then you put it out there and watch people, kill themselves several times trying to beat your designs. The thing I really like about the game conceptually is that, which is totally poor grammar, but I don't care, is that it's exactly, it should have been done like 5 years ago. I'm shocked that it took this long. And I will say that way, way, way back, even before I think the E3 show, I had commented that I'm also surprised they haven't done the same thing for Zelda and some of the other, more simple versions of the game where you could do a similar kind of feel. Because imagine putting the creative genius of the gaming community on a Zelda dungeon and how crazy cool that could potentially be.
Yeah.
Those are just my thoughts. Overall, I think the game's great. It's getting rave reviews. Everybody loves it. Thoughts, Brad Wallace?
Same deal. The only reason I have it is that like Metal Gear consumed my life for like literally the whole month of September. Like it's just insane how much I play that game. But I'm 100% getting Super Mario Maker. Like there's no doubt. And I love the idea of like playing levels by other professional video game developers. Like I remember on Twitter, I follow Playtonic Games who make or who are working on Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah.
So they came out with their own like Mario Maker level, and I love the idea of like playing Mario levels from people that aren't Nintendo. Like Cliff Bleszinski, the Gears of War Unreal Tournament guy, like he came out with his levels and stuff. Like I don't know, it's just so cool to me, and that's something I could definitely see more of. Like hopefully growing bigger, whatever. And I don't know anything about how the downloading works. I know you have this like 16-digit code maybe that you kind of plug in and download the level from, but I hope there's a way, maybe it's on a forum or something, that people can kind of curate the best of the best from the most famous or the most talented community people, and literally you just have like the best Mario game ever in theory. Like if you have endless, a million monkeys on a million typewriters, you're going to end up with Shakespeare. Like, I don't know. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, again, another subreddit, Mario Maker Celebs.
Yeah. I like it. But I'm totally on board. Like, everything about it is just so cool looking. The next game I'm probably going to get, though, that's on my radar, I'm skipping Mario Maker probably till a little bit later. I really want to get the Yoshi's Woolly World, which is
slightly... I will not buy that game.
Why? It looks so good.
It
looks better than Tomb Raider and Halo 5.
Yes, it's the same. It is basically Little Big Planet with a Yoshi skin.
But there's nothing wrong
over
with
it. Yes, there's tons wrong with that.
They had Yarn Kirby. That was fun.
Okay, I didn't play that either.
But that's okay.
I get it, and I just think I'm reminded back. I don't know if it was. I think it was 2 E3s ago where they like did the intro video and they had the cute little amiibo plushie toys sitting on the table with the two Japanese developers. And they're like, "We are so excited about how," and I'm like, "This has existed for 10 years, dude."
Oh, that reminds me. I have to give a shout out. I don't know how I'm going to segue into this. Speaking of horrible, terribly offensive broken English accents, Pope Francis visited the United States this week. Did you listen to like his English, like the delivery of his speeches in English, like at all?
I did. Like, it was slow.
It's pure Iwata, dude. Iwata was reincarnated as Pope Francis. He gets on stage and goes, "Hello, I am Pope Francis. America is a great country." Like, it's the same thing as Iwata. Dude, I was losing it when I was listening. I just had to throw that in there.
Well, it's funny in the sense that being a Catholic, I'm allowed to laugh at my Pope. So
I love Pope. This Pope's like the best Pope ever.
Yeah, he's definitely got a little personality, a little swag going on for his 79-year-old self. But anyway, so yes, I can totally see the Iwata connection there. Actually, that's very funny.
It's like the exact page.
I didn't know if I didn't pick up on that at the time, but now that you say that,
it's like dead on. Dude.
You're so stupid.
Dead on. It's the stupidest thing like I've ever thought of. I was like, oh my god, it's Iwata.
So Mario Maker is going to be a great game if you. own it already and you have cool level designs, you should tell us about
Pope
it.
Francis will make a Mario. No, I don't think so.
No.
We should once we get on that. We should make official gamer feed. Like we all have our own levels that we.
That could be. I don't know if I have the time or the patience to create a level for the masses. I mean, I love everybody, but
I guess
I value my sleep more.
I'm more excited about playing other people's levels than.
Yeah, but generally, though, I think we both agree. Favorable opinions all around.
I have been watching it on Twitch a lot. I've been watching super pro, hard level, crazy.
Oh yeah,
difficulty. It's great. I love it.
Oh yeah, I think the game it was pure genius. It's terrible it took us so long to get out, but yeah. On to the next topic.
Woo!
So apparently, in case you still live in 2013, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 will not have a campaign on the last generation.
Yeah.
So that begs the question, if you have monies or you're college age or maybe end of high school and older, you pretty much don't have an excuse to not have the next gen, like the current gen, PS4 or Xbox One already. I mean, I get it if like you're, younger tween or early teen and your mom thought she was being cool at Christmas a year ago and got the PlayStation 3 because it was on super sale at Walmart instead of the high-priced PS4. But
I don't know why that's so funny and sad.
But it's true.
Like, it's great, though. I mean, the PS3 has, no doubt, a million more games than the PS4.
Well, yeah, I mean, but now you won't be able to play, your little COD. So if you got to have a little Black Ops tray
good
in
thing
your
the
life.
Call of Duty campaigns mostly suck, so...
I mean, yeah, I guess it's cool if you just want to have robot zombie apocalypse or whatever.
Yeah. I looked it up just now to make sure, but I guess they did lower the price, which is good. I wouldn't want them to pay. It's $50 on last gen, which is still a bit much.
I mean, I'm kind of over it. Especially because I have a sneaky suspicion that they'll add the campaign later on as DLC.
Oh my god, that would be like the end of video games.
You know they're going to do it.
Done.
You know they will.
Oh, it's so funny and sad. But no, what's so funny is the whole point of the freaking. They all have different subtitles, even though their multiplayer is the exact same. The whole point of the subtitles is like the campaign. So you take away the campaign, why is it called Black Ops? Yeah, well, because there's guys with guns and they got helmets and stuff. I don't know. I was
never really a big COD fan anyway, so I'm kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I still haven't bought and played one. I mean, I've like played them, I think, randomly, but I haven't bought one since Modern Warfare 2. So right. I think it went out on the best one. So
hey, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the reviews say, but suffice it to say, if you're still on last gen, let this be a very high recommendation for you to consider making the jump to the latest hardware because you're late.
Word.
To the pate. Okay, this next topic actually is really, I think we'll take a second, but so there's big news in the last 48 hours-ish that Sony has, made musings that a PlayStation Vita successor is, quote, unlikely.
Yeah.
And that immediately threw off a storm of media coverage from the various outlets, one of which in particular caught my eye, and I want to say it was Polygon, but it could have been like Game Rant or something like that. And they're basically like, no, see, mobile phones didn't kill Vita like Sony says. Sony killed Vita.
Yeah.
So let's discuss this a little bit because I'm telling you, I did own a Vita for a short period of time, and my main selling point on it was the remote play until I realized that remote play totally sucks. Some people are like, dude, it's the most amazing thing ever, and I can totally play Destiny on my little joysticks, and I can do it in my car and drive around, and I'm amazing. And unfortunately, those are the people that glitch when you're trying to PvP, and then you report their asses to Bungie. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so no, I had it. I really did like it until I realized that the remote play really wasn't as solid as I had anticipated. And at the time, I had 30 meg internet. Now I have 50 meg, and I'm like, you still suck. I traded it in for the new 3DS, which I love and I play all the time.
Yeah, much better choice in my opinion.
So, a couple of things here. A, thoughts on trying to blame mobile when really in fact it was Sony's part, and B, what does Nintendo do now that it's kind of clear that this space of the portable handheld console is going to open up here?
Well, the problem, right, I mean, you can blame it on mobile, and to an extent that's probably a little true, especially with, like, the kids. You imagine, like, a lot of video game base is going to be, like, especially on handhelds, I feel like more kids probably play the handhelds than adults. That's not based on any kind of...
speak for yourself.
That's just, no, I mean, I have a 3DS and I love it. I'm just saying, in general, I feel
you really
like,
are a big kid, so.
I'm just saying that, like, maybe more adults would have, like, the console and the handheld would skew younger. That's just, I don't know. That's my read on...
No, that's fair.
...world. But the thing about it is, yeah, like, there's not a single great PlayStation Vita game. There's just not. Yeah. There's a lot of, like, good ones. There's a lot of decent ones. There's a lot of shit ones. But, I mean, there's not a great one. There's not a single great PlayStation Vita game. Especially one that isn't already available on the home console at a higher resolution and better frame rate and better everything.
Exactly.
There's not a single... I cannot think of a reason why to buy one except for, like you said, plays the remote stream play. But that doesn't even work that great. So it's... I don't know. It's just completely dead. It was doomed to fail. The difference with Nintendo's dedicated handhelds is Nintendo makes consistently great games. There's like 15 great 3DS games. Like, and there's literally zero PlayStation Vita games. Like, if you go to Metacritic and just look at, like, the top Vita games, they're all just, like, ports and this, that, the other. Like, there's no reason to buy one. It's just so funny to me. I don't know.
I mean, I agree largely. And I'm not sure why Sony gave up on it, because it's not like it was a big moneymaker for them, but it worked. And they were really the only other gaming company that was making a play for it. So if they back out of the market, I guess the curiosity I have is, does that change Nintendo's play? Because technically they could stay with like a 3DS-esque system in the space and have zero competition, basically, and still do whatever they're going to do with DNA and NX, but have this, no pun intended, third pillar that they basically dominate in. I mean, they're not going to have any competition, so why would you completely back out of that market? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sony as a large company, like the big picture Sony, including their movies and their TVs and their PlayStations and their mobile, like the entire Sony is like in such a bad condition. Like literally the company is just like anemic. They're just like dying.
Yeah.
I think literally like the only profitable sector for them is PlayStation, and at that it's only their home console PlayStation. The Vita is just, killing them. It's just this cancer that's sucking up all their resources. It was such a dud. It was never going to make a profit. It was just every angle a bad idea. What's so funny is I think people look back at the PSP with like rose tinted glasses. My brother had the PSP. I thought that sucked. I thought it was like the dumbest thing I've ever... Like, I don't even think the PSP was a good idea, even though it sold a lot better.
It did.
Like, Nintendo was so good at, except for the launch 3DS, like making these cheap, simple pieces of hardware with like amazing software, whereas Sony would make this really expensive hardware with like terrible software. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's so weird to me that Sony just does not have their head in the game. They don't understand what people want. Like, Nintendo totally gets what people want. They want this little piece of plastic that can play Nintendo games. Sony thinks people want this sexy glass back touching dual joystick and PS3 looking. Like, no, it's just, it sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree. I'm not surprised to hear it. I would be more surprised to hear it be something different than what was just reported. But there are a lot of people in the interwebs that are like, "Oh my God, my life is over because I don't have my damn. I won't
all
have a Vita."
15 Vita owners are just like so sad right now.
No, there's a lot of people out there, believe it or not. Unfortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, their loss. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
Here comes the part in the middle of the show. I put it in the middle of the show so that, we wouldn't kick off, lead, or close with it. But, so this was, I could not.
This is so stupid.
This is so stupid, but so if you have young children, you can just skip the next several minutes.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a game released where you just bathe dudes.
Yeah. Is this Shower with Your Dad Simulator?
Or whatever it's called.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not. No.
But that's a big popular one right
Oh
now.
my God, can we stop talking? I want to know how you know these things.
I only know it because I think Jim, friend of the show, Jim Pligta, sent me a link for it.
So
on
you throw
Steam.
Jim under the bus?
Yeah, I gotta blame it on him. He sent me, it's 99 cents on Steam. It's called Shower with Your Dad Simulator. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something.
Oh God, I'm looking at screenshots. Oh my God, you can pick the dad. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, so
you get points for getting the right dad. You get minus points wrong dad. This is awful. This is the worst.
No, I forget the name of it, and I won't give it the credit it needs to actually give it a real name. But anyway, it's out there, and so
God, oh my God,
it got banned on Twitch because people were actually trying to Twitch stream bathing dudes, and Twitch, I think, up until this game, only had like 14 total games in the whole universe that they were banning, and this one was number 15.
Oh, this is it. I just found it. Sorry, I found the title. The title is hilarious, but I don't know if I should.
Yeah, go ahead. What's it called? I forget.
Rinse and Repeat.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, it makes the short list for banned Twitch games.
Yeah. So,
Oh, God.
so then, to make the story even more ridiculous, the creator of the game is like trying to sue Twitch
Oh my God.
for discrimination because of the genre of the game.
Oh my gosh, this is like literally the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's like, so there is an adult portion of the population that is all into this virtual stuff that we will not talk about any further than just to call it virtual stuff.
Oh my God,
And
I'm looking at screenshots. I can't do this.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, Oculus Rift is going to have adult viewing
That's what
material.
I was just about to say. Yeah, that's
It's
going to
like,
be like an Oculus Rift killer app.
don't want to know. I don't want to know. I mean, that's just not right. There are some things that you should not discuss in public. But anyway, so Brad, now that your eyes are bleeding,
God, that was literally the funniest thing ever, though.
now that your eyes are bleeding,
Yes.
thoughts on banning rinse and repeat?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, there's a couple games. I looked at the other games, and they're all like these really ultra-violent murder simulator things that are just like, totally unartistic, just whatever. Doesn't mean that they're like the worst games ever. It just means like, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it being banned. It's like movie theaters not showing NC-17. Like, that doesn't bother me. Like, I don't know. I can still watch the things that are on there. Like,
Yeah, or you can, go ahead and peruse the interwebs and
yeah, it's not
go
like
ahead and
you can't
manually make your eyes
somewhere
bleed
else.
by looking at
Yeah.
screenshots.
That's the thing about it. Like, it's not that NC-17 movies don't exist. It's that you can't just walk into a theater and see one.
Right.
Like, same thing with this. You can't just look at it on Twitch, but it doesn't mean there's not, probably dozens of other places you can find rinse and repeat to knock yourself out. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. People get all, the government and the Nazis, we're turning into Nazi Germany, and that's like the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, I agree. I mean, I think the band's fine. I'm not necessarily a prude. Like, I don't really give a flying crap.
Yeah.
But the entire concept is just awkward. And it's like,
It's like hysterical, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can
That's
totally
ridiculous.
see it being hilarious at, like, sorority parties, but, I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Outside of that, I don't know if there would be a more, broad appeal or public consumption that makes sense that wouldn't be, strange. But anyway, I had to throw that in there. Okay, end of exploitative, weird games.
Shower with Your Dad simulator.
Yeah,
Game of the year.
bathing dudes.
No.
I think Brad and I, we should get Kyle and Jim and Rob, and let's go to Reykjavik into like those Icelandic saunas or whatever.
I don't know if I like the direction this is going, Nick. This is totally different than what I thought you were going to say we should stream it, which I think would actually be like hysterical.
There would be so many shades of wrong.
Yeah, it's banned, but yeah,
there would be many shades of wrong with all of that. And no thanks. I love you, but I love you right where you are. Yeah. Okay, so back onto real legit news.
Okay.
In the universe of all things that makes me want to cry, Mighty Number 9 has been delayed to February of 2016. Why? God, why?
Yeah. These games are always delayed, ad nauseum. That's the problem with Kickstarter, like we've talked about, beaten to death. But I don't know. If it's good when it's good, or if it's good when it's done, then that's perfectly fine. But it doesn't bother me. There's so much coming out this year that like I'm already skipping. Like Mario Maker, Animal Crossing, I'm going to have to skip for now. Like Tony Hawk, if it's any good, I'm going to have to skip.
Yeah, if you like terrible graphics.
I trust me, you heard me defend that game.
I did. It still hurts. It still hurts.
Yeah, the more I see of it, I kept thinking in my head that it was going to get better. I was like, oh, this is just early footage. And I'm like, oh, no, that's the actual game. All right.
Yeah, well, like Kyle said on the episode where we discussed it, it's a Tony Hawk game. What do you expect?
Yeah, if it's fun and good, then I'll probably pick it up at some point. But at this point, I'm not optimistic. But my point is, lots of stuff I'm already skipping that, like, one delay is probably a good thing, actually. But yeah.
Well, we'll see if it actually gets released in the time frame that they say. I've now become a huge skeptic on all things release dates. So basically, the game isn't going to release until it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is always a fine philosophy, even though I know you were very heartbroken by the Zelda delay.
We can't discuss it. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about, Zelda delay? What Zelda game? There's no Zelda game.
There's no such thing. The game I've decided doesn't even exist. They haven't even talked about it in like a year.
Actually, right. I think that's the best way to treat that game because I think that was just a tech demo for the NX launch Zelda. That is inevitable.
Yeah.
Same thing. Actually, you know what? Real quick tidbit. Can I skip ahead real quick?
Yes.
On the agenda. Pikmin 4. Did we talk about Pikmin 4?
We did not talk about it, but it was.
Yeah.
I was surprised, and then I was like, I don't care. I didn't really care about Pikmin 3 either.
Oh, well, that's why. I love Pikmin. I love Pikmin 1. I never played Pikmin 2, but I love Pikmin 3. I can't wait for 4. My hunch is it's going to probably be a Wii U / NX game, just like the Zelda will be. That's my prediction. You heard it here first.
To do the crossover? Like Twilight Princess?
Exactly like that,
yeah.
And I think what they're trying to do is build up their infrastructure so that if you download the game on the Wii U, maybe you can download it on the NX when you get that. Like, I think that's kind of the direction they're going, especially with the rumors that their next console won't even have an optical drive or, whatever at all.
Yep.
But I'm excited for it. Like, if the new console launches with a Pikmin and a Zelda, like, dude, it's over. That's like killer system forever. It's as good as the Wii's launch lineup, in my opinion, just with those two games. But yeah.
Well, I mean, then there's always the persistent wish for a Mario Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
Or a true sequel to Mario Galaxy.
There's even, like, depending on how the NX turns out, if we go by these rumors, it has this gamepad-esque standalone portable / controller thing. Maybe you could see like Mario Maker on there. Maybe you could see all kinds of Wii U games that, if it were quote unquote backwards compatible, which I think they're going to do to some extent, then I think that'd be a great thing.
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah.
Agreed. So since we talked about Twitch already, I didn't realize I forgot that I put this on the agenda, but it was just announced at TwitchCon, which is either going on right now or just got done, that the PlayStation family of consoles will finally get its own dedicated Twitch app so you can watch Twitch streams natively through your Sony PlayStation consoles instead of through their terrible internet browser.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's been long overdue. I think Xbox One has had one like forever.
Yeah, which is interesting. I wonder if there was some kind of sneaky exclusivity thing there that happened, but
Probably.
It's supposed to come this fall, so the wait will not be very long, and I can tell you that I am super thrilled because I love watching me some Twitch. It's like my background stuff during the day while I'm working, and I can listen and things. So this next one, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm turning into, the Metal Gear Solid to Brad, but
yeah, I was gonna say, but I'll let it slide. I will I'll let you go. Never mind.
Well, so everybody knows I'm a big Destiny fan, and this past week you basically don't breathe and play video games and didn't hear about this. So in one of the missions that is like a daily thing, you can go in every day, it's a different thing, somebody discovered that there was a secret access into an old mission from a previous expansion that then started a timer when you went through the threshold of this door, and you basically had to go through in 10 minutes or less and kill all of the enemies, the main boss, and all of the ads to win a super-duper secret exotic sniper rifle, the Black Spindle. And you also could have gotten a shader and a cool ship with pulsing orange, evil-looking lights and so on. Yeah, and so everybody basically flipped their crap and piled into the game. There were so many connection problems that day, but because everybody was trying to go through and, get their hands on this one-day kind of quest thing. I found out about it because I watch video game news on a daily basis. It's kind of how this gig works. And I went in with a couple of guys later that night, and we just got destroyed every single time. And I've got like a 296 light character. I maxed almost completely everything that I have other than raid gear, which I'm working on. And nice. There's zero excuse for not going in there and just killing the crap out. These guys were tough. It's hard. We couldn't do it in the time that we had. But so I guess the point is, Bungie said that there was going to be a lot of really cool secret content. The story, Taken King reviews are starting to come out. IGN's came out this week. Polygon's came out. Everybody's starting to release. It's getting 8.5s, 9s, 9.5s. It's getting great reviews, largely because Bungie's actually delivering on what they said. So this was just another one of those things where it's a whole new way to look at the game and a game mechanic that they've never done before. Thoughts, Brad Wallace?
I think it sounds cool. Everything Taken King related sounds really good. It sounds, I guess when you bill it more as a sequel than an expansion, it actually kind of clears that up a little. The thing that sucks is that it's tied to the vanilla game. You need the original game to play it. If it were a standalone thing that your character could transfer over to, I think that'd be fine. But something about it just bugs me that it's this add-on, that it's not its own game. And I'm still waiting for that next real Destiny leap to whatever. I don't know. Unless they never do one, which we've talked about, a couple times. But I really want to see them kind of flip the script even more. This sounds like it does a lot of good stuff. But
it's great, yeah.
Yeah, especially with the mission quest structure, that alone sounds so much better than what was there on day one when I played. Yeah, but I could really see them making it a great thing if there's a Destiny 2 next year, an actual Destiny 2. That'd be awesome.
Well, we will see. We will see. But anyway, I had to throw that in there because it was the news of the last week, and we've got a good Destiny contingent, so that's good.
Word.
Okay. You were going to say, before you said go ahead.
My one thing, I was going to say, we talked about this pre-show, but ladies and gentlemen, I have finished Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. I have completed every single story mission, which only 2% of the players on PlayStation 4 have done, going by the trophy stats or whatever. So I got that completed every mission trophy. Only 2% of people have got that. I'm the 2%, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I loved it. And the game's totally incredible. Easily one of the best games mechanically I've ever played, if not the very best game. The story, which I talked about, I've gone up and down on it. The story for about 80% of the game, it's just like kind of crappy. It doesn't really go anywhere. There's these stupid twists. I want to talk about it, but the game's been out for a month. I still don't want to spoil it yet. There's just a lot of dumb things that happen, and I wasn't really into it, even though the missions are awesome, like the side stuff, like the open world, awesome. But the actual story was just so weak until you beat the game and you get to like the last real story mission, and there's like this mega plot twist that would make M. Night Shyamalan blush, and it would just be like, oh, it's so good. Like, a lot of people online hate it, but it flips like literally the entire series on its head. Like, it changes everything. It's like so cool. And you know that I'm not the story guy, but I was like grinning when I got to it. I was just like, what the heck did I just watch? It was so fun. It got me real excited. I'm glad Metal Gear's over. It really does like finish the series. So I'm glad that that's done in the book. It's now sealed, locked, throw away the key, like it's done. And I'm really excited about what kind of stuff Kojima can do in the future without Konami.
So I was going to say, speaking of Kojima, we still have heard nothing. Nobody has heard anything. I'm shocked.
He's still, what's it called, under contract till the end of this calendar year. So January would be like the first we could hear anything from Camp Kojima. But I'd expect to hear something soon. That seems like a guy that doesn't really, take too much time off. Maybe he will, because this is like a well-deserved break now that Konami says they're not making console games anymore. But I could see him getting back into game development sooner than later.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's such a talent. Even all the fun jokes about Brad and his love fest with Metal Gear and his plush snake pillow and all these other things. It's just that he's a real talent, and
he's a real special. I mean, he's like when in 50, 100 years, when you look back at what is now what we know as modern gaming, but what they might see as like the early days of gaming. Like Kojima's really going to be one of those names with like Miyamoto that really changed the way everything was done, and he's just so awesome. And I hope to see him continue doing that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I'm thrilled, and so are all of our listeners, that you finally have beaten the game.
Yes, it's like this thing that I feel fulfilled.
That it's the end of the series, that we'll never have another Metal Gear Solid game ever again.
I'm actually happy about, like I said, a lot of
people we are too, because that what that means, right?
Well, we still have maybe the remnants of PT.
There'll be no more Brad talking about Metal Gear ever again.
And actually, we talked a little bit about Metal Gear Online. That's something that I'm not really interested in at all. So this might be the last time I really play through Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, it's such an insanely long game that I don't see myself replaying the whole thing like literally ever again.
Right. So for those listeners that are regular, and I know you who you are, and you're all sitting there and you're clapping, you're cheering, you just spilled your beer. You're going, yes, it's finally over. There actually is one teensy little caveat to that, and that is that at the end of the year, we will do our Grampy Awards, of course.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, there will likely be another mention of Metal Gear Solid.
Because we'll see. We still got a couple months of good stuff to get.
We do. We do. Okay, any other random news or tidbits that you've heard that you'd like to throw out there for the yearning public?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. I think this was a good little rundown of September. Was a weird month, but I think we did a good job.
I think so too. It definitely was weird. That's a good way to put it. And
we got all the stuff in our respective shows, like Nintendo's new president and TGS and all that stuff. So this is a good, mopping up the leftovers.
That's right. So if you want to hear our opinions on any of the aforementioned topics that Brad just highlighted, we have many previous shows. Feel free to go back. You can do that all. It's on iTunes and iHeartRadio. You can go back almost forever, I think. You can go back to like the first
episode -0.
-0. Oh
-1.
my God. That was our pre-pilot pilot. It was a joke. But anyway, so yeah, you can go back and you can hear our thoughts, the group's thoughts, the team's thoughts on all those things. I think we're going to have to plan that, that visit to Reykjavik next fall. We'll have to let Kyle know.
It's in the cards. Definitely a strong possibility.
It's so weird. Okay, well, anyway, so that will bring us to conclusion for this week's show. As I mentioned before, you can, of course, always check us out on Facebook, which you should because everybody else is doing it, on Twitter at GamerFeedRadio. I already mentioned iTunes and iHeartRadio, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention good old GamerFeedRadio.com, where you can also access all the shows, the content, and original content where it is placed sporadically as all of us have time in our busy lives provided to you. So this has been the news feed for this week. We will see what October brings with many new releases coming. Until next time, gamers. Peace.